talk about another kind of basic arm movement when drawing that is really important. Not only do you need to be practicing, moving your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist when you're drawing, but it's important to ghost your lines, which is what I call floating above where you want to draw a line and kind of tracing it, and then drawing it. Okay, so like see that line on the paper in your mind's eye, and then draw it. Move your elbow, move your shoulder, move your wrist, and then draw that line. A good way to do this is to create 2 points on your paper, okay? Starting point, end point. What I'm doing is I'm moving both my eye from end point to end point, as well as my hand and arm. Now you'll notice if I ghost it with just my wrist, it's, well, I don't know if you can notice, but it's more difficult if I pull my whole arm, my whole shoulder to the side, my elbow, and I eyes pencil, and I ghost that line. It's almost like you're creating just kind of momentary muscle memory before you draw that line. Okay? See if I can do it a little faster and draw that line a little straighter. It's a little better. Okay? And you're trying to aim right at end point to end point. See if you can get it straight, end point to end point. A little off there. But that's a good exercise to try. Ghosting your lines. The exercise you're going to do to practice ghosting, okay? You're going to create planes, meaning like a flat plane, not like an airplane, but a plane of space, by doing 4 dots. And this is another exercise that I want you to do in pen, okay? Doing 4 dots, kind of in a rectangular shape, but they don't need to be. They can be in a trapezoid shape, just any 4 dots. And you're going to connect them outside first, and then you're going to connect the diagonals, okay? And then it's going to look like kind of a plane in space. So I'm floating my pen. I'm moving my arm and my elbow. I'm going to draw that line. Okay, this way I'm drawing a line vertical. It's easier to pull my elbow back when I draw that line. Connect those lines. Then you're going to do the diagonals. Move your paper if it makes more sense. Like this, my hand's getting kind of caught right on the edge of my sketchbook here, so that's not very comfortable. So maybe I'll do this one first. And then maybe I'll twist my paper all the way around. And then that's a little easy. Oh, whoa. My camera did a thing. Okay. To make that plane. In your sketchbook, you're going to do this a lot. You're going to fill a sketchbook page with planes, okay? I want to see like 25 planes. I want you to ghost your lines first. Practice that arm movement. Practice aiming where your line is going, okay? Knowing that end point. I want you to ghost your line like 3, 5, 10 times before you actually draw it, until you feel confident that you can draw that line as best you can. And I want you to kind of notice when it's easier to move your arm certain ways. With vertical lines, is it easier to pull my elbow back, to twist my wrist, pull my shoulder all the way back? With sideways lines, is it easier to hinge at the wrist, hinge at the elbow, hinge at the shoulder? Kind of notice those things about the physicality of drawing and what makes it easier for you. Is it easier to draw laying down on the floor on your stomach? Is it easier to draw on a table? Is it easier to draw on your lap? Get comfortable, especially in quarantine, okay? Get cozy with your drawings. Practice ghosting your lines. Practice all those arm movements.